Good evening and welcome back to Ferrari TV. Tonight I have the pleasure to introduce you to our partner, a managing partner of Ferrari, Mr. Massimo Fedeli, who is an expert of innovation in business and management. Just as a background for you, Massimo Fedeli had a lot of senior management experiences in Nestlé, Fiat, Ferrari, Magneti, Marelli in technology, and other interesting experiences. So I would like to ask you something about nowadays innovation in the world of consumerism. How do you see the new trends, the new mainstreams of the way the consumers approach the new way of purchasing goods and services? What is the innovation in place in this period of crisis, of greater evolution of the consumption?
First of all, thank you, Francesco. Good evening to everybody, or good morning, it really depends on what you're listening to. Well, nowadays, consumer is king. If you think about 20 years ago, the offer of any type of product, any category was quite limited. The visibility on pricing was almost something that was related to the traditional distribution channel, and the consumer was not really in a very strong position. Nowadays, with internet and with all telecommunication, every single process is very fast. There is an excess of demand, an excess of offer on any product. Newcomer coming from all over the world are now coming to the market with a very good product. The quality is not anymore a differential. The quality is a given. Everybody should have a product that works with not causing any damage that will last forever. And now the difference is done by the branding, and the difference is done by the design. And pricing, of course, is playing a very important role. Pricing is done by a lot of different things, but of course the quality of the product is one. The distribution way, the way you distribute your product as well, is reflected in the final price. Internet is giving today the opportunity and chance to any consumer to benchmark your product against all your competitors in a fraction of a second. Everybody can really, before going in a shop, check, understand the product, understand the quality. The best price you can get on internet, the best price you can get in any countries, so cross countries purchase is not anymore something that is related to very few people. Now everybody can buy anywhere and just pay for the different price of shipment. So really the competition is very difficult now for the company that need to produce to be competitive at global level.
Okay, I would like to ask you, in this framework, I would like to ask you something related to the weight of technology in this new business environment, consumer environment, in particularly in the light of one of your former experiences as head of CRM for Fiat Group. I mean, you had a privileged observatory on the way the consumer interact with a company in this case, but how this is changing, taking into account the new technologies. I refer also, of course, to social networks.
Yeah, thank you, Francesco. 10 years ago, something more than 10 years ago, effectively, when I was in charge of the old CRM for the Fiat Group for the world, I had the privilege to be one of the first, probably, being able to work on an important mainframe, working on billions of data. having really the opportunity to cluster consumer. And that was at the beginning of the internet era, bubble in a way. We were able to really define a cluster of a segmentation of different customers based on sex, based on the type of car. If we were able to get information about the credit card expenditure, we had one of the company and also a credit card program within the Fiat Group. We were able to profile also the purchasing power in a way, what he was buying or not. But it was limited in a way, and the limit was done by the type of information we were able to manage in our mainframe, and the type of information we were able to collect. Now it's completely different. After 10 years now, we will be able, through internet, through the analysis of every single transaction any one of you is doing through internet, to really profile every single customer in a different way. So we are not anymore talking about a cluster of similitude of a customer, but really is a one-to-one way of gathering information and optimize the way you present your company. Social network is effectively still considered by most of the company like something for young people that go there to play or to chat each other or to be in contact with former colleagues or former employee or whatever. It's not. Effectively, on a social network, people talk about your brand, talk about your company, and you are not aware. And they can really...
It's like an open source branding.
It's an open source branding, and only very few companies, I have to say that I have the privilege from London to see our British company or American company are already facing this phenomenon, is to manage it, because it's very important to be able to gather information of what's going on in this social network, and to manage it, and to promote and to support your brand. I remember that when I was in Nestlé, and it was almost 20 years ago, that we were already monitoring 20 years ago what was going on about Nestlé brand all over the world, because we had to fight against company or against pressure group. We were against the milk, because we were doing milk for infant that was not able, or for a mom that was not able to breastfeed the children. But this has not been socially accepted in some of the countries, or some of the people were not accepted. We were monitoring and controlling through the press. At that time, the press was the only way. But you can imagine some people seated in Switzerland try to get the press from all over the world to do press cutting and to get information about what's going on. That was a way. Now, 20 years after, everything is so quick, so fast, not only in real time, but at the same time, you need to be there. You need to control it. And not only a company like Nestlé that have really based its reputation on the trust with the brand. Any single company need to make its brand trusted by the consumer.
Now I would like to ask you something from your day-to-day experience, like mine in the world of enterprises and management. What is the evolution, if there is an evolution, hopefully, of the way companies are managed nowadays, fast-moving markets? So, do you see an evolution? And if so, to what kind of changes you notice?
What I'm noticing is that more and more companies are becoming international. I mean, Italian companies still get international management in order to get an international experience. Foreign companies tend to get Italian management as part of their core team in order to get international experience as well. And what I've noticed a few days ago when I was seated in a board meeting with an important British company, that within the board there was only one British guys. All the rest was coming from almost every country in Europe. And it was funny to see a single task or a simple problem was faced in a different way from people coming from different experience but different culture. And I think that this is very important because it will allow the company to better understand the consumer that I see everywhere. Your market is not Italy, is not England, it's not France, it's not Germany. Now the market is more and more global. And you need to be able to understand globally how the market is going.
Very interesting. Thank you very much, Massimo.
So, Francesco,
Thank you
very much.
Thank you very much for your time, and see you next time on Fair Play TV with other management pills.
Bye bye.